We'll sit up there. Monitoring traffic, Russia, landing planes. What else am I doing?
Surveillance cameras.
That's right.
It's very good.
That's right. I'm watching the parking lot right now.
Day trading.
Day trading. Shh. Hello.
Is it still not showing up in the conference room?
It's no,
Huh.
but it could be something with Polly, I'm wondering, so that's what I'm.
You're trying to get stolen from my mother. Is it ridiculous? Yeah. Oh, nice. Like, I like it. Can I have it? She's like, it's as old as you are. You sure you want it? He's like, I'll take it. I'll wash it in the night. I'll drink dry.
Take your seat.
I was gonna recommend having barbecue tonight, so. Taylor, how does it feel to go first?
I mean, technically the first one for Fresno, but it's a little scary, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know what that means. You're setting the bar.
Yep, I'm gonna. Eek.
No, that's a good thing. You got this.
For all we know, he's at a bar.
That's why Frank told him you have to stay at Fresno. You can't leave Baker's.
It's pretty lonely in this office today.
Did Brian and Julia make it down to Bakersfield yet?
Yeah, they're right there. I see them.
Oh, okay, I can. This room's too small on my phone. Good.
So did we kind of figure out why it's not showing up on the
Still
conference?
looking.
I'm sorry?
Still looking.
Okay.
Is that required to get started?
No, it's 11 now, if you want to start, Mateo.
So I just start even if it doesn't show my face.
Most of the people, we can
You
see your
guys-
face live, so you should be good.
Okay, you guys can see my face on the recording as well.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All good?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to come and listen to my final presentation, whether it be in Teams or Facebook Live. And there's no one here in Fresno, so it's a lone conference room. And moving on from that. So just a little bit about myself. My name is Mateo Reyes. I'm 18 years old. I was born in California and raised in Hollister. I am currently about to go into my second year at Fresno City, and I am majoring in construction management. So just a little bit about my upcoming. Throughout my childhood, it was basically very sports oriented. I started playing football and baseball since I was 4 years old, and I really haven't stopped playing football and baseball since. And another thing I like to do a lot in my childhood was go outdoors and be outdoors a lot. I liked to camp, and I still like to camp. We just went camping last week, me and my family. So this picture right here, this first picture is a picture of me and my brother. We are relatively young. I added this picture because it's a core memory of mine. This is the biggest trout I've ever caught. And those fought pretty hard. But this second picture right here, all these pictures on top row are core memories of mine. The second picture is me in my final games of my senior year playing varsity football. This third picture was a picture of me last year. What's up, Ty?
What's going on?
So,
You okay if I sit here?
yeah, you can sit in here. You kind of want to sit right here to see the computer. All right. Well, this third picture is a picture of me and my bowl game at Butte College. It was very rainy and very cold, but it was a very cool experience, and it was very fun to be able to play with my teammates, and we won that game. So I guess that makes it better too. And this final fourth picture is a picture of me my senior year, one of my last games of varsity baseball. So fun fact about me is I've been around the country 3 different times on road trips. Me and my family have drove to New York, there and back twice, and to Indianapolis, there and back once. Through these trips, I was able to see a lot of cool things. I was able to go to Wrigley Stadium and watch a Cubs game, which is it's a very historic park, and it was very cool. As you can see right here, I was also able to go to Niagara Falls and visit that. My family and I had our passports, so we were able to go on to Canada and kind of see it from that side and go to all the other tourist places in Canada, which was another very cool experience. And this last picture right here is a picture of me and my siblings. We're kind of trying to imitate the Mount Rushmore. And I think it's a funny picture, and it was also a very cool experience. 2 other things that were very cool that I got to see on this trip was while driving through Iowa, I got to stop at the Field of Dreams and play catch with my dad. If you guys have seen that movie, you guys kind of understand that and the importance behind that and how cool that is. And another thing is when I got to Cooperstown, New York, I was able to take a tour and visit the Baseball Hall of Fame. So that's just a little bit about me. Now moving on from that, this is the company analysis. So just a little bit about AC Electric. AC Electric was established in 1945 and has been an exemplary contracting partner in the Central Valley of California for many years now. AC has a total of 5 offices. 3 of those offices are located in Bakersfield, 1 in Fresno, and the other in Visalia. And AC's core values consist of integrity, quality, professionalism, knowledge, safety, service, family, and community. These values have allowed us to develop and maintain meaningful, long-lasting relationships with our customers, trade partners, and employees. So now moving on to the conditions of satisfaction. By establishing goals known as conditions of satisfaction, then strategizing and planning to meet these goals that are focused on people, markets, growth, pre-construction, and service and special projects, AC Electric is able to efficiently manage risk and opportunities within a high competitive environment while also looking forward to the future of the company. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this poster posted up around the office, so it's very well known that you guys know these plans and are aware with them. So just a little bit about the team structure that I worked with in the NorCal region. I worked with the service and special departments or special projects department, and I want to give a quick thank you to everyone listed right there. Not only was everyone in this department very helpful throughout my internship process, but they were also very welcoming and made coming to work every day very fun and just altogether a great learning experience. Other people that I worked a lot with were the other Fresno interns, which were Brian Chavez and Julia Goldinez. I want to give them an appreciation as well because they helped me a lot with with programs I did not yet know how to program and how to operate. I would always go to their cubicles and kind of just bug them and ask them questions all day, and they would not hesitate to help me. So I appreciate them for that as well. So my responsibilities throughout this internship. So first off, Jeff had me starting out just sending quote requests to vendors and comparing them between the different prices between the vendors and just trying to see which one gave the best price for us and just to continue with them for that project. My second responsibility was doing counts and takeoffs. I did 3 different counts and takeoffs throughout my internship. The first one I did was my first day here. Ty came over to my desk, threw some plans on him, and just said that he needed me to help him with that takeoff. And it was an athletic medium voltage upgrade at Fresno State. The second one I did was the PE Academy, and I'll talk a little bit about that more in the next slide. And the third one I did was just recently after the PE Academy. It helped me. It actually helped me with this count. I did counts on lighting and power sheets for an upcoming job at Wells Fargo for Jeff. My third responsibility was job walks. I did a lot of job walks with the interns down here in not Hollister, I'm sorry, in Fresno and in Bakersfield. But I want to just talk about the 3 coolest ones that I kind of went to. So the coolest one for me was I went to a bank with Jeff, and they actually let us into the bank. So I kind of got to see how the vault looked in there, and I got to see a little bit of money. It was very cool. It didn't look exactly how it looks in movies, but it was still very cool. The second one that I thought was very cool was Amazon. I got to see all the moving parts of Amazon and how they operate. It was very high tech, and yeah, that was also a very cool thing to experience. And the last one I got that I thought was very cool to experience was I recently just went on a job walk with Ty down to River Park. It was kind of cool seeing how our work affects the community and how much it would help like just a area where there's a lot of moving people and just a lot of population. So that was pretty cool to see as well. The fourth responsibility of mine was USA ticket renewals. Ty Lee came to my desk one day and asked me if I wanted to learn how to do ticket renewals, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into exactly. It's an easy process, but it's a very long process as the software is very slow a lot of the times. And for any of you guys who don't know what a USA ticket is, it's a USA ticket is something that alerts utilities like PG&E who might have underground lines in that area of work where we will be excavating. Without a USA ticket, we will not be able to excavate because the utilities need to mark their lines out before we can actually start digging. And my last responsibility was something that I did mostly in the second half of my internship was picking up will calls and delivering the material. So Jeff would just come ask me randomly, just on the spot, hey, do you want to come bring some materials out to Fresno State, and it was just on the spot. It was cool. I got to become familiar with the material and how that process works, going to the different vendors and picking things up. So those were my responsibilities. While I was browsing through the internet, I found this quote that I really liked. It is, accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go and no one else. And I also chose this quote because it does play in with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the book that we read. So I thought that quote was very cool and very beneficial. So now moving on to what I personally learned. So all of my responsibilities were also things I had to learn. Me being only 1 year into college, I have not done no construction classes yet. So coming into this internship, I didn't really know anything at all. And so all those responsibilities were things I had to learn. The second thing I learned was how to read plans while doing takeoffs. I know it's very important to read the plans and understand how important all the notes are on the sides of the plans. Ty also helped me a lot with this because we went through a lot of plans together for River Park and that job walk we went on. Another thing that was very beneficial to my learning here was the PE Academy ran by Frank Reyes and Isaac. First, we kind of talked about takeoffs and estimating and how the NECA manual plays into that for labor hours. So I was able to learn about the NECA manual. And the second thing we did for that was we actually did a takeoff on the Fresno office. This was very beneficial to me because I got to use Bluebeam for this takeoff. I had never used it before, but Ryan Chavez, the other intern, kind of pushed me towards using it as it was easier than doing it with a scaling pen and a clicker for counts. And it was just very beneficial. And I also had to ask Brian and Julia a lot of questions on how to operate Bluebeam, and they were always there helping me. So thanks to them for that. And the thing we just learned recently in the PE Academy was cost codes and phase codes. There's a little picture right here on the bottom left. It kind of shows what a phase code consists of. And that was also very beneficial to the process of learning. Another thing that I learned a lot from was book club. I learned a lot of valuable habits and good mindsets that are necessary to be successful throughout my career. And I never thought I would have learned that much from a book, but it was very.
Spoken like a true football player.
I'm trying to move out the way right here for this bottom one, but I don't really do it. So another thing that I got to learn a lot from were the meet and greets. Besides learning from my team, I also got the opportunity to meet other leaders from other departments whose experiences provided valuable life lessons for me. Their stories and experiences grew my understanding of how a construction company functions as a unit, how all the different departments kind of play into one in the process of completing a job. So that was very cool as well. My 5 biggest takeaways of this internship. The first takeaway is finding ways to eliminate waste every day. The second one being having extreme ownership from any leadership position. The third one being the importance of building connections. The fourth one being the best form of learning can come from messing up and reflecting. And the fifth one being the importance of time management. So these first 4 kind of come from the book club. So I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide. But this 5th one right here was something that I had to become familiar with very quick. So as some of you guys know, I had football during this internship as well. And I also had 2 summer school classes. So my schedule was very busy. I was always doing schoolwork, or if I wasn't doing that, I was doing this work. And then if not, I was at football. So the first couple weeks of trying to balance all 3 of those, I found myself very behind on my schoolwork and just trying to catch up all the time. But as I progressed, I was able to sort of figure out a way that was good for me and how to manage my time efficiently.
Multitask.
Multitask. So now I'm moving on to book club. The first book we read was 2-Second Lean. This book talks about eliminating waste, and in order to eliminate waste, you have to be able to see the waste. Talks about continuous improvement, making lean simple, implementing the 3 S's every day, which are sort, sweep, and standardize. I can't really sweep, but because we have carpets around here, but I can sort, so I sorted out my desk a lot before the work days just to get everything where I wanted them to be. And the last thing was to fix what bugs you. This second book, Extreme Ownership, kind of talks about how to be a good leader. It talks about no bad teams, only bad leaders. In order to be a good leader, you have to check your ego. Teamwork makes the dream work. Prioritize and execute. Have full trust and confidence in your team. And the last book we read was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These 7 habits consisted of being proactive, being with the end in mind, or begin with end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek to understand than to be understood, synergize, and lastly, sharpen the saw. And unfortunately, the second half of book club I was not able to attend due to my busy schedule. I really like the book clubs. I really like talking about the books and just seeing how different people kind of viewed those books in their eyes. So it's kind of disappointing to miss the second half of them.
Books to read.
Yeah, those 3, yeah. So now moving on to the internship activities. Unfortunately, I was unable to go to about half of the internship activities because of my busy schedule. The first one I went to was the pizza night at Darren's house. This was a very fun experience. It was good for me to kind of just meet the Bakersfield interns and meet other people from the Bakersfield office. As you can see, my pizza is a little uneven, but it was still very good. I felt that it was a little rigged. I felt I had the best pizza, but everyone has their own opinions. The second internship activity I went to was Fugazis. This was very important as I got to meet the Bakersfield interns more on a personal level, considering it was just us interns on that at that dinner. And yeah, it was very good to meet the Fresno interns through that. I also got to get some delicious free dinner, so you cannot complain too much about that. The third intern dinner I went to was Sakura Chaya. I've never been to this place in Fresno, and Brian was suggesting it heavily. It was very good, probably one of the best hibachi places I've ever been to. And this again was another place that I got to meet some new Bakersfield interns that didn't go to the first one, and it was just overall just a good way to connect with them. So now I'm moving on to my lean proposal. My lean proposal is focused on handoff packets. So what is a handoff packet? A handoff packet is a physical folder distributed to the foreman from the SSP managers that details information about a job. These handoff packets consist of a scope of work, specifications, drawings and sketches, bill of material, and other pertinent information. The handoff packet also provides the foreman with any and all information they need to complete the job efficiently. So due to many reasons, there's often not enough time to put a handoff packet together for every job. SSP groups usually have many projects going on at the same time, and some of these projects and jobs only last a few days, so it's hard to make a handoff packet for them. Since information is provided by these packets, is specific to each job, not having them prior to the job starting leads to foremen spending more time seeking information on what to do when they could have been working on completing the job efficiently. As such, my proposal aims to streamline the creation of these packets. Typically, when SSP is awarded a job, they move the SSP bid folder into a project folder. During this step is where I focus my lean proposal. I propose that upon creating a job folder, also include a subfolder dedicated for a handoff packet, which also includes a comprehensive checklist. By setting up the handover packet while the information is present and fresh, it enables the SSP manager or project coordinator to generate a more accurate and complete handoff packet. This ensures that regardless of when the job is set to start, the information will be readily available and easily accessible. I feel that this would benefit the SSP team in two different ways. First, by establishing a rhythmic workflow and timing when generating the work packet. It will save the SSP members a lot of time later and as the lifespan of the project continues. Secondly, it will benefit the SSP group by having information readily available for the foreman at the right time. The foreman will be able to complete their job more efficiently, thus saving labor hours and material dollars. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in and listening to my project. I also want to thank AC for the experience of being an intern here. As being someone who is early in my education, I am not really 100% sure on what I want to pursue, but I feel that this internship has definitely pointed me in the right direction and has confirmed that my major is the right one. So I want to thank AC for that. And I want to thank everyone for being so welcoming and just giving me a great experience here.
What's your major?
Construction management.
Good job.
So now any questions or comments? I understand that there will be a lot of comments, but
What surprised you when you learned the takeoff? Ty says, hey, jumping in the deep end, here's a set of plans. What did you learn from that? And what surprised you that, you go, man, I didn't know that this was what happened?
what kind of surprised me was how long the runs were. I had to scale this out on with the pen, so I kept doing it, and it was just surprising that there was like 900-foot runs. So that was something that surprised me. I didn't know that.
The scale.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's deceiving, huh?
Yeah, it is very deceiving.
There's only
It's just it's on a little paper, but when you scale it out, it says 900 feet, and it was just like, wow, okay, that is pretty cool.
Go ahead, Dale.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Dale, did you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute. Hey, Mateo, I was
Phil.
impressed when you were mentioning about the 2-second lane and that you've taken some of that into your work life. Have you also taken any of that into your personal life?
The 2-second lean, yes. I feel like after reading that book, I do approach my days differently. I feel that I'm trying to look for waste everywhere in just my daily life. And I feel that without reading that book, I would not have looked that way at all. Because I am a big procrastinator, and this has helped me with that problem.
Very good, thank you.
Fascination.
Of course, of course.
Anyone else? Questions for Mateo?
Yeah. Tell us about some of the materials that you delivered specifically. What did you learn on those?
Most of the times it would just be little connectors, or a lot of the times I would go to Circuit Solutions and grab a lot of breakers because while I forget his name. Dang it. While Brent was working at Lindy, I had to deliver a lot of breakers to him there. But yeah, mostly it was just little stuff like that, little connectors, little finger locks, just
Most of it was service calls,
yeah.
not knocks. That we couldn't plan for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How about, did you get a chance to talk to folks like Brent about what they were doing with that equipment?
Yeah, I not so much exactly what they were doing. Ty and Jeff did tell me what they needed them for and what they were doing, but I was able to get in contact with them and call them and talk to them a little bit on the jobs as I was giving them their materials.
Cool. So my final follow-up on that is, can you tell us about some of those? What were some of the jobs?
So,
I don't know about the job.
I'm sorry?
I don't mean job number. I mean a little bit about the job. Tell us what you remember about those.
Yeah, I remember at Lindy, Brent was just working on fixing some old lights there, and it was just he was up. Yeah, he was just up there at the lights, just fixing them. Uh, at Baker Hall, I don't know exactly what was worked on there, but I do know that they're remodeling dorms, and I got to kind of go and inside those dorms and kind of see the process of how they were fixing the dorms. So that was also cool.
Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Mateo, I know that the vast majority of your time was spent in the SSP group and with the service group. Were there any other departments that you were aware of or that you saw within not just the Fresno office, but within the company that you thought might be interesting to get a little more information about or learn a little more about?
Um, Ty's over here telling me service only in my ear, but yeah, I thought estimating was pretty cool. Although I am someone who kind of likes to be hands-on, I did think that estimating was cool. That was something I got to see. I also got to hear a lot about the different departments through the meet and greets. I thought contracts was pretty cool. I thought that it was cool that you had to go negotiate. I think that's always fun. Yeah, a lot of the departments seemed cool and interesting.
So Mateo, I've got a question for you as well.
Okay.
When you came to AC Electric, was the internship what you thought it would be? Or what did you have imagined for yourself?
Honestly, honestly, a little bit, yeah. I did expect it to be like this a little bit, but what I was not expecting was the how much I was gonna learn here and how beneficial it was gonna be just to my overall career and learning experience. I got to kind of see how everything works inside of a construction company, and it was very good. It was very good for me.
Go ahead, Phil.
Hi, I wanted to ask, did you or do you feel like you experienced a paradigm shift moment? And if so, what was it for you? Like, what was your experience during the internship that kind of didn't warp your brain, but like made you look at things from a different perspective and maybe like created a newfound respect for it?
Okay. That's a good question. So, something that warped my brain, sort of, just kind of like surprised me on a level of difficulty, or can you explain a little more? Just
Sure, no, not necessarily anything that warped your brain or made you go crazy, but maybe more so along the lines of what did you experience during this internship that gave you a new look on something and allowed you to see it from a different perspective?
okay, yeah, honestly, before I didn't know that there was that much coming into this construction. I didn't know that there's that much office work that needed to be done, and I didn't know that there was people who did so much office paperwork on a job but never was really able to see the job at all occur. So that was something that was very mind-boggling to me a little bit. I thought it was mostly just working and out on the fields. I didn't know that there was that much stuff behind in the background that goes on.
Thank you for that. I actually have a follow-up based off of your answer. Thank you for the answer.
Okay.
I'm sure that there are other members within AC that have the same mentality, like that don't realize all the office work that goes on in the background and how those things are needed to make sure that we get the field work done. Do you see a way for us to help share that communication to our field teams?
Ooh, I guess I guess a good thing to show that would be the handoff packet. I mean, as the foreman's getting that, they could see all the things included, the bids, the RFIs, the bill of materials. They can basically see all the work that's done in the office.
Nice, thank you.
So Mateo, in your presentation, you had, that book club that you had learned some valuable habits, but you never really explained what those habits were that you had learned through book club. Can you explain some of them to us?
Yeah, I can explain some of them. So I took notes on these while I was reading. So the first habit is to be proactive. Basically, this habit talks about you are the one that, like, basically you are the driver in your own life. You have to take full responsibility, and there's a lot of things in this that I have notes on. Dang. Yeah, basically the main takeaway I got from this is you are the driver of your own life. And the second habit talks a little bit about how you are the one who also programs your life. I know in the book they refer it to you are the programmer of your life, and you come up with the program. You write the program. And then the third habit basically talks on running the program. It also talks about how to be effective with people and be effective with different things going on in your life. It talks about the quadrants, like basically, how would I explain the quadrants? Basically, the importance of things and how like what time it's needed by, I guess, kind of. So that
Urgent.
I'm sorry?
Urgency, urgent and important.
Urgency. That's the word. That's the word I'm looking for.
You're doing good.
Urgency. Yeah. This past week I've been in a quadrant 1, so yeah, a lot of burnout. But the fourth habit talks about thinking win-win. So kind of just think of scenarios where there will be no loss on your end. Kind of try to come up with a solution that is beneficial for you in both ways. The fifth habit talks a little bit about being able to understand someone before you want them to understand you. This also kind of plays into thinking win-win. If you want to be able to understand someone, you have to understand them before you can really get them to understand you as well. And the sixth habit, this one was a little bit confusing to me at first, but it talks about synergize. So what I have written down here is that work together to produce a third alternative solution this basically kind of plays into the win-win solution. Kind of think of a solution that would benefit two people making a decision. And you have to value the difference that you and that person has. And basically, the seventh habit is sharpening the saw. This just talks about being able to kind of sharpen your skills on these habits and incorporate them into your life so you can continue to be better with them. That's basically the notes I took down on 7 habits.
Any other questions for Mateo?
Mateo, you referenced that when you started in this, you had a lot going on and how you managed your time at the beginning. Some stuff was falling behind, and then you learned about time management. What kind of system did you put in place, and what changes did you do to better manage your time?
Honestly, it's something that I did, and to manage my time better, I did when I had even just the smallest amount of downtime at work, I took that time to go hop on my Canvas and try to work on any assignment I could, just in order to save time for me later in the day. So that was something that I did in order to manage my time better. Yeah, I also just, yeah, I would just work on my school whenever I could. And that helped me because I did get a lot of assignments and it was very beneficial to kind of start doing them in downtime so I can catch up.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts for Mateo?
Yeah, so did you make the team?
Did I make the team? Yes, I made the team.
Oh, fantastic. All right. And you're gonna suit up or?
Yep, I'm suiting up. I was on the team last year as well, but there was some very good safeties in front of me, so I was limited on playing time. But this year I look to be a leader on the team and I can go back to extreme leadership and take notes from that on how to be a good leader. Take
Very-
extreme ownership.
And tell us, tell us some of the classes you're signed up for next semester.
I have Math 6, which is basically all the calculus classes combined. I have Physics 4B, which is the Physics 2, basically. It's the second class of physics. And then I have English 3, and those are my classes for the next semester. And then after that, just more math and more physics, all that good stuff.
Very good. Does anybody remember how old Mateo is? 18, yeah. Nice. Nice.
Thank you so much, Mateo. Great job.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to listen to me.
Good job, Mateo.
Thank you.